Girls, I want you both to have a seat. Now, this isn't easy for me. The truth is, oh, where's your brother? Well, he was here earlier, and I've already had this conversation with him. Yes, he's not taking the news well. Now, I'm genuinely sorry that both of you heard about what's happening from your Aunt Millis. Millis, quite frankly, she should have kept her mouth shut. But she didn't. Okay, here's the thing. Your mother needed some professional help, and I got her that professional help. No, see, that's what I'm talking about. I wanted to talk to all three of you at once. It didn't happen that way. You know how your brother is. He and your mother are very, very close. And you girls, well, I know that sometimes you girls and your mom, you clash over things. Honestly, that's the way it is with parents and children sometimes. It's perfectly normal. Obviously, I know that you love your mother. I love her too. We all love her. And she's getting the help that she needs. Well, no. See, your mother is not crazy. I don't want to hear that word in this house. Now, I'm happy that the two of you came by to visit. I know that college can be difficult and can be stressful, and you girls don't need this right now, but you're both very mature, you're both very intelligent, and you deserve to know the truth. So, your mother had a nervous breakdown. No. Where it happened doesn't matter. It happened. The counselor that we've been going to, I finally agreed to not just accompany your mother to the marriage counselor, but to go in and speak with the marriage counselor. The first couple of marriage counselors we had, I didn't find them to be very professional at all. The first one, he just, I don't know, he had this weird happy-go-lucky attitude about life that's just not realistic. Now, I've taught you girls how real life works. I taught you what to expect. Now, maybe I went a little too far, but I felt you needed to know the truth. Life isn't rainbows, lollipops, and roses. There are no unicorns, and Prince Charming isn't dead, but the problem is he never existed in the first place. I wanted you girls to have a realistic understanding of what to expect in life and how hard you'd have to work in order to have a more or less comfortable life. Happiness is pretty much a myth. You get a cookie, you eat the cookie, you're happy for a few seconds, and then you move on in life. I mean, that's the closest thing to happiness there is out there. Maybe you meet a man who treats you right, or, you know, maybe you meet a person who treats you right. Okay, there's some happiness there. But any serious relationship requires work, a lot of it. And sometimes one person in a relationship requires more work than the other one. That's just how it is in life. The person who's doing well, sometimes they decide to leave and start over with someone else. Now, I want you girls to know that is not what is happening here. Your mother needs our full support, full moral support, and we're going to give it to her. Your mother is not crazy. Your mother didn't lose her marbles. Your mother is having some issues, and she needs to work those issues out with a professional. Now, unfortunately, even though we did find, finally, a good marriage counselor, and even though I began not just escorting your mother to the appointments, but walking in with her, holding her hand, participating, unfortunately, at that point, it was a little too late for her emotional well-being. Yes, she did have the breakdown in the waiting room of the marriage counselor's office. I swear to God, your aunt does not know how to keep her miserable mouth shut. Okay, I'm sorry. You know full well that I have not gotten along with your mother's sister. That woman has caused this family plenty of grief. She never knows when to keep her mouth shut, and I'm sick of it. But okay, the important thing, girls, is your mother needs our full support. Oh, what the hell is that? Hold on. Oh, okay. The emergency generator kicked in. Well, as you girls know, this house is pretty old, and we have been having some electrical issues this previous year, so I bought an emergency generator. Yes, everything will be fine. Don't worry about it. Besides, we've all had dinner. Pretty soon, we're going to go to bed, so the power's not going to be an issue. Now, I just want to say this. Your mother is not institutionalized. After her breakdown, thankfully, the marriage counselor was able to calm her down. We both spoke with her, and she did eventually agree with us that it would be best if she got some professional psychiatric help. So, the marriage counselor called a colleague of his, and we were very fortunate he was able to do that. And this colleague accepted her as a voluntary patient. Voluntary. That is the key word. Your mother volunteered for the help. Yes, that means she can walk out at any time she wants to. She promised she wouldn't do that she'd only walk out when she got the help she needed. And despite everything that has happened, you both know that your mother is very good at keeping her promises. So, she is currently at an institute where this psychiatrist works, and she is an inpatient. She has her own room. I've seen it. It's not like a jail cell. No, no. This is not some horrendous mental asylum where they lock people up and forget about them. No. She has a room. She does not have a cell. She's not a prisoner. She's a voluntary inpatient. Okay? All right. Now, the next several weeks, perhaps months, are going to be difficult on all of us. But it is important that we pull together as a family. Now, if one of you or both of you want to return to school, I have no problem with that. Okay? No judgment, no anything. If you want to stay, that's your decision. If you want to leave and go back to school, to college, that's your decision. If one of you wishes to stay and one of you wishes to go, that's perfectly fine. I'm not going to be upset. I'm not going to be angry. Your choices. Okay? Your choices. Well, this shouldn't influence your decision, but yes, your brother has decided to stay. Well, I mean, he's still paying on his apartment above the garage, but he's going to be living here in his old room for a while, going back and forth to work at his mechanic's job. Yes. Well, what can I say, girls? Our home is actually considerably closer to the institute than the mechanic's shop. I guess your brother figured that if he lived here, the distance to the mechanic's shop is about the same as the distance to the institute. If he lived there above the mechanic's shop in one of the 2 upper floor apartments, yeah, he'd be able to walk down to work, but then driving all the way to the institute would be a headache for him. So, I mean, he decided he'd rather live here for a while. And again, I don't want his decision to influence either one of yours. Your mother is very understanding. She and I both recognize that you have lives, and your education for both of you is very important. I mean, the truth of the matter is, if both of you left college, there's not much you'd be able to do. I'm sorry. Sit around the house all day long. What's the point? I've taught you girls to concentrate on what you can do. And what you can't do, don't let it eat away at you. Seriously. I'm not going to influence your decision. If both of you want to temporarily move back in, that's fine. If both of you want to go off to your individual colleges, that's fine too. No judgment from me, no judgment from your mother, and I'll make your brother understand. I mean, the commute for him from work and home and the Institute, it's a little bit of a headache. For both of you, it's going to be a huge headache. I'll make your brother understand. It's okay. I want you girls to know what's going on. You're both old enough, you're not children anymore. And yeah, what can I say? This is not an easy conversation for me to have. I've already done it once, and here I am doing it again. But I want you both to know that your mother loves you very much. Obviously, so do I. And we want the two of you to make your own decision about this matter. If you move back in, you're not going to be able to do much of anything to help her. Personally, I would love to have you girls back home, but as a father, I realize that you need to get started on your lives, and continuing with your education, probably the best thing to do right now. Your mother would absolutely understand. So would I. Your brother might be a little upset at first. You know how he is, but I'll smooth things over. Don't worry. Don't worry. Well, here's the thing, girls. Sometimes adults need help in life. Actually, individual adults at certain times need a lot of help in life. With your mother, this happens to be one of those times, unfortunately. So she's getting the help she needs. And we're going to support her. We're going to be there for her. But I don't want you girls putting your lives on hold just to be around the house, maybe worrying about her. I don't want that. But it's your decision. You girls individually decide what you want to do, and I will support your individual decisions, no matter what they happen to be. All right? This family is not breaking up. This family has just hit a rough patch. That's all. We'll get through this. I don't want you girls to immediately decide what you want to individually do. Sleep on it, think about it, and we'll talk in the morning. Okay? All right. Good night, girls. I love you.